She has been on our show a couple of times. She is a 7-time Moth Story Slam winner. Yeah. And you may have also seen or heard her on Risk. Please give it up for Sandi Marx. Yeah.
So when I was in high school, I grew up in Forest Hills. And at Forest Hills High, there were two kinds of girls. There were the nice girls, mostly Jewish, whose hair grew out, not down. And then there were the badass bitches. We called them the hitter chicks. And their hair just kind of grew high. Okay, so I won't get you wondering which group I was in. I was the nice girl. We were the ones, we wore like Bonnie Bell pink, like lost sticks. And we would tape our hair down with this pink perforated tape, like that would make a difference. We were so hideous. And we didn't wear like the bad girls. They were wearing push-up bras and ankle bracelets. I was wearing like what they called a training bra. I don't know what we were training for. We had nothing. And we had like we had no game. All right, these girls had serious game. And I just wanted to be one of these girls, but we were just total losers. So like our activities mostly involved babysitting, like regular gigs. We thought we were really good. We were like young businesswomen. And then we were always like starring in the high school musicals. We were like gleeky assholes. And the bad girls, they had like real skills. Like they could roll a joint with one hand while smoking like a Marlboro Light with the other. And they had like the resting bitch face way before anyone knew what that was. I mean, they were like really, like they were hot, okay? And we tried to emulate them, but we couldn't. And when we wanted to go rogue, it was different. Like when they went rogue, they were like in Puerto Rico for a long weekend to get something taken care of. When we went rogue, I would like lose my retainer. It was like, we were just, okay. Then on like Friday nights, they hung out. We thought, we could hang out. We're cool. So we didn't get the memo where to go. So we would hang out. We would bring our like wine coolers and Boone's Farm apple wine, which was still a thing, like in a brown paper bag. And we would hang out in front of the Forest Hills Jewish Center. All these like Jewish boys that were just as boring as we were. And we all thought we were so cool, like swing. Meanwhile, my favorite girl, Patty Migliacci, she was at the Pizza Den probably giving a hand job in the parking lot. And those guys were so fucking hot. They were like juvies, you know. They were like thrown in some like baby prison for a while because they were like dealing pot or something. I don't know, but they were really cute. Like this one guy, Bruce Raps, everybody loved him. He like kind of walked like a gangster when he was 14 years old. We love these kids. So I thought, I'm gonna be friends with these people. I wanna be bad. So I loved it. So I targeted Patty Migliacci. She was my favorite. So one day I finally got up the courage in assembly, when everyone has to wear a white shirt, we had to wear white blouses in assembly, and all of my friends had on our training bras, like 28 double A's, and they all like opened up the buttons, you know, and they're like pushing their shit up, and they were just so hot. And I went up to her and I wanted to like talk to her, and I accidentally must have touched her. So this was the communication. I accidentally touched her, and she whips around and she says, "You're dead after school." I was so in love. She talked to me. I'm dead after school. Okay, wherever you want me to meet me. So, all right, things weren't great. All right, but my friends and I, we did our best. We were in the shows, and we did okay in school, and we planned our careers for college. Well, they were like going to like beauty school or trade schools. I don't know where the fuck these girls were gonna go. They were gonna get pregnant, have babies. They'd be on like a future VH1 show. But back then, we didn't have that glorifying of being pregnant when you're stupid and 17. All right, so high school's over, I get through college, and I'm still the nice girl. My hair's still growing wide, it's not growing down, I'm still in a training bra, and I mean, I'm not giving up. I'm a virgin through high school. I am just like the prudish little girl, but I got set up on a lot of dates after college, and I had this was my brand. When someone would say, well, what's Sandi like? She's really nice, she has a good personality, And your mother will love her. I know, it's not like I wasn't a femme fatale. I wasn't sex pot stuff. I was just, your mother will really like her, and she's got a good personality. Like Miss Congeniality, like one of those dogs at a local beauty pageant. So what I would be set up with these really nice guys, you know, they were like me. They were like losers. So, and I'd go out with them, and I thought, well, this is the best I'm going to get because I still haven't grown any tits, and I'm still a virgin, and it's fine. Okay, now here was the thing, though. I was a really nice girl, so I had this one sort of fallback position. I never broke up with boys, ever, because I didn't like confrontation. I didn't know anybody yell at me. I didn't want anybody to fight with me. So I had it figured out. And it's easy, okay? There are two ways. One, you act like you really like them, and you really need them. They'll dump you. And then, it's easy. The other way is just be reserved, don't return all their calls. This was before we had phones to text. Maybe not show up on a date, be a real bitch. You know, be really douchey, and eventually you get the favorite thing that you want them to say, which is, it's not you, it's me. And that's victory, because that means I didn't have to do anything, and I'm off the hook. And I did that for years, and I was very good at it. And I always felt very good about myself for being what I thought was really nice, because I never wanted to hurt anybody's feelings. Okay, so then I get set up with Larry Levitan. Okay, let me explain. Larry Levitan, Jew, very handsome. He's got like good short Jewy hair, but nice. Doesn't that way, it's this way. It's like, he's cute, but here's the thing. He's very wealthy, okay? His parents live in Great Neck, which is on Long Island, and they're in the electronics game. They're like the royals of all the switch covers on every light switch in the country. You can't go on or off without seeing Levitan with a little lightning bolt. That's his family. They are very, very important people. And Larry is going to go into this electronics business. So this, I mean, if I had wound up with him, I would have been up to my tits in dimmer switches. This is like big. So it's not so bad. And, you know, I was broke. I never had any money. I was at NYU. I had to pay for it myself. And I wanted to be an actress, so I knew I was never going to make any money. But there was a part of me that thought, no, I don't want to be the dimmer switch queen. I don't want to live on Long Island. I don't want to raise Mrs. Levitan. I don't want to raise those. I knew, and I was young. I was a kid. I was 23 years old. But he wouldn't dump me. And it went on for months and months. And I'm finally at the 6-month point, I think, all right, you're going to have to wear your big lady pants. You're going to have to tell him that you can't see him anymore, even though this is not something I'm equipped to do. So he invites me to an Islanders game. Okay, now have you ever been to a hockey game? All right, first of all, it's a hot mess. It's so loud, which is why I picked it as the place to dump him, because I figured he won't even hear it. But not only that, it's so aggressive. Like I swear to God, I went to a hockey game where I saw men, drunk, ugly men, lift a chair and throw it. Now, what makes that remarkable, that chair was bolted to the ground. They didn't like a call, and they just threw the chair at that, like, plastic shield that's supposed to keep us away from the hockey pucks or whatever, and the guys have no teeth, and it's not my thing. It's not I went to see a chorus line 12 times. It's not like my thing. There you go. All right, so I think this is it. Okay, and I figure if the Islanders win, he'll be happy. It'll be loud and he'll be happy. He won't even notice. Maybe he doesn't even really like that much. He just doesn't know how to break up with me. Maybe he's nice as I am. Okay, so the first quarter, the second quarter, third, the game is going, the puck, and I don't know what's going on. I'm not really paying attention because I'm nervous, I know. I gotta tell Larry I'm dumping him. I don't want to do it. Okay, it's like the last minute of the game, and I know this is it. I gotta tell him. So I get ready, and we're gonna win. We're up by a lot of points. I'm thinking, oh, he's happy. So I start to turn to him, and he takes my knee, and he says, "Can we talk?" Yes, yes! He's gonna say, it's not you, it's me. This is it. I have once again committed to my act here. So I say yes, and I don't say anything, and he puts his hand in his coat pocket. Yes! He takes out a velvet box. It gets worse. He opens the said box, and inside is what appears to be a Great Neck flashlight on a ring band. it's like, you know when something is so bright it illuminates a room, like a disco ball? This ring was so big and shiny, and he just says, will you marry me? And I, for the first time, am without words, because you can imagine I'm always talking. So I smile, and the only thing that I can think of saying, no thank you. I'm nice, I don't know what else to say. I'm just so shocked. And he says, really? I said, Larry, we've been going out for 6 months. You're a great guy. We hardly know each other, and we're babies. We have a whole life to live. Now, in my head, I'm already thinking, no, you're not for me. I'm going to be like a Broadway gypsy. I'm going to have a trunk like Gypsy Rose Lee with stickers on it from around the world doing bus and truck, and I don't want to be married and living in Great Neck. I said, no, we're too young, and I really think we should take a little beat here and maybe take some time out. And he starts to cry. I know! And he's such a nice, big electronic prince. He's crying. Okay, it gets worse, if you can imagine. So he says, okay, well then you have to do me one last favor. Okay, and I'm thinking, I'll do anything at this time. You can fillet me, you can stick me out in the back on a flagpole, whatever. You can do whatever you want because I'm a horrible person. He said, you have to come back to my house in Great Neck because my parents have catered an engagement party. Yes! Yes! Can you imagine? They brought in from Ben's Deli, which, by the way, is very good and very expensive. Those smoked meats don't pay for themselves. So he says, you have to pretend tonight that we are getting married. So I say, sure. And I'm thinking, yeah, I studied with the Sanford Meisner School of Acting. I was one of Lee Strasberg's last students. Fucking all, I'll just do some sense memory. I got this. So I said, fine. So it's a long drive when you're not talking to somebody from not only is it a long drive from the hockey stadium to Great Neck, do you know what it's like to get out of a sports arena when you stay till the end and you're just sitting there like queuing up waiting to get out the fucking parking lot? So I'm sitting there with this sad, angry Jewish boy with nice Jewish hair who's going to be, he's probably so wealthy now. And I have to wear this ring that is already giving me like a pinched nerve in my shoulder. It's so big, and it's nice, but, all right, so we get there. And I know that I have to just suck it up and be the best actress that's possible. So we get there in this nice house, and his mother answers the door, and she's so nice with her like lip liner, and she smells like a Shalimar or whatever. She looks like Mrs. Roper, you know, and the husband's got a cigar, and the house, I walk in, it's so bright. I mean, you can imagine in the lighting business what this would be like. There are like dimmers on sconces and chandeliers, and you don't know where to look first, and all the furniture's covered in plastic slipcovers, which is like beaming off the lights. You know, it's like some kind of Epcot Center experience. So, and then there are all these aunts and uncles, and they're peppering me with questions like, where will you go on your honeymoon? And when are you getting married? And where should we do it? Let's do it here at the house. And I'm thinking my ass will get stuck to the slipcover, like the plastic slipcovers. So I just lie, yes, yes, yes. Okay, an hour of this goes by. I've whored myself for an hour. And finally, I say to Larry, I said, okay, I did my part. I got to go home before I say something that's going to really fuck this whole like mirage up. And he says, okay, thank you. I appreciate it. And we bid farewell. I think I claim I had like, I don't know, some sort of pain in my side. I don't know. So we leave and we get going, and we don't say a word back to Queens. He drives me home, and I hand him back the flashlight, and I'm thinking this would have paid for 4 years at NYU, and take your ring back. And I get out of the car, I say, I'm so sorry, Larry, I hope you find someone who really loves you and takes care of you. And that's it, I get out. So, okay, now here's the thing, especially if there are young people here tonight and you're single, this is a very important lesson. I want you to hear my words, okay? There is a huge difference between being nice and being kind. If you're kind, you're honest. You tell people what you think about them. You don't have to do it right away, but you do it nicely in a way where you're telling them this isn't going to happen. So you're not setting them up for this sort of behavior. Now, if you're nice, you wind up in a room filled with lovely people in caftans staring down a platter of sweaty meats. And I am telling you, this is not a life path that anybody needs to be on. Thank you.
Comes the world.